Hi, my name is Lisa Lanskowski, and I have the pleasure today to be with Marv Schlanger. I am the Director of Corporate Relations for AICAG, and we are going to spend a few minutes with Marv talking about his keynote today, in addition to him being the Agile Industry and Government and Industry Leaders Award recipient for AICAG. He has just given the 2015 keynote at our spring meeting in Austin, Texas. Marv is one of chemical engineering's great leaders. He has served as the chairman of the supervisory board of LyondellBasell, the CEO of Arco Chemical, and started his career off at Mobil, and has a very wonderful and interesting leadership story that we are excited to hear a little bit more about in his talk today on chemical engineering and is this the golden age. So thank you for joining us, and if I may ask you a few questions that we'd love to hear your opinions on where we're going in the industry today. So my first question is, what do you think the environment is going to be like for the chemical engineering profession?
Well, thank you for having me, Lisa, and thank you for asking. I'm extremely positive about the chemical engineering profession. I think that in many ways this is the perfect storm for chemical engineers. Technology has evolved in a way that has made chemical engineers extremely valuable, productive, and allow us to contribute to society in general. The economic environment is quite positive for chemical engineers. I think everyone knows about the shale gas revolution, which in my opinion is the single biggest event, transformational event in the global energy markets over the past half century. Not only are we lowering the cost of energy across the world, but we're creating a positive economic environment in the U.S. for all manufacturing, and in particular for chemical manufacturing. So the ACC, the American Chemistry Council, has estimated that U.S. companies will spend over $120 billion in the next few years to build facilities based on the low-cost energy and available hydrocarbons. Someone has to design, build, and operate those facilities, and that's what chemical engineers do. So that is also going to contribute to a great environment for chemical engineers. And thirdly, society is demanding that all engineers, and in particular chemical engineers, contribute more. And we need to do more to reduce our impact on the environment and to have a better interaction with the human component of the planet. And our evolving skill set will allow us to do that. The fact that we're able to reduce pollution with associated health benefits, we're able to improve energy efficiency with a lower carbon footprint and positive impact on global warming. The fact that we're making our facilities more efficient, using less raw materials, producing less waste. The fact that our technology allows us to build safer plants, thereby protecting our employees and our neighbors, all make it positive for chemical engineers. So a quick summary, I do believe this is the golden age for chemical engineers, and I think our profession has its brightest days ahead of us.
I think that's wonderful to hear, your perspective on that and the different industries and areas that chemical engineers really can use their talents, which sort of leads me to a little bit about people managing their own careers and developing in this environment and the different areas. So how do you think that people can actually manage their careers to take advantage of some of the things that you just touched on?
It's a great question, particularly for chemical engineers who will be presented with lots of opportunities in this terrific environment they're going to see. But the kinds of things I talk about for managing one's career really applies across the board, not only to chemical engineers, but all careers, and not only in industry, but applies also to academia and government, as well as commercial enterprises. So over the years, through, I'd say, maybe a little bit of trial and error, I've developed certain, what I call rules for managing a career. First is understand that your career is your responsibility. There's no one who's going to manage your career for you. There is no big black book in the office of the vice president of HR that has your career laid out for you. It's really your responsibility. You have to take charge of it. Second is develop an intermediate range objective, a 3 to 5 year objective, something that you can strive to do, recognizing that over time, as your interest changes, as your skills change, as the environment changes, you might want to change your objective. Third step is develop a plan to achieve your objective. Do you need an MBA? Would a foreign assignment be helpful? Is there an AICHE course that would help you achieve that objective? And things along those lines. Is there an ad hoc study or ad hoc group you could join that would give you some improved skill set that would help you achieve your objective? Ask for advice in your company. Ask your managers, ask their managers what would be helpful for you to achieve your objective. The next bit of advice is sort of on the reverse side, and that is never take a job just for the money, and never take a job that you're not interested in doing because you think it positions you for a job you're interested in doing. If you're not interested in doing a job, you won't do it well, and you won't get that next step anyway. And a month after you get your raise, it's like you've always made that money, and you still have to get up in the morning and go to work. So I encourage people, never take a job you're really not interested in doing. And the last bit of advice, which I think is most important, develop a track record of success. Go to the action. Be the person that puts scores on the scoreboard. Managers and supervisors want successful organizations, and they look for people who can help them make their groups successful. So if you develop that reputation of being the go-to guy, the person who gets things done, good things will happen in your career.
Thank you for that wonderful sort of breadth of information on managing your career. And it sort of leads me into my next question. What do you think really makes a great leader?
Great question, one that there's been hundreds of books written about. I'll give you my view in a short summary. There are many leadership styles that work, but I think there's some common traits among excellent leaders. First, excellent leaders communicate well. They communicate with confidence, they communicate openly and transparently, and they communicate with clarity. And when they communicate that way, they generate confidence in the organization. And a confident organization can accomplish a lot. World-class leaders develop world-class organizations. They hire good people, they set high expectations, they provide feedback to their subordinates, and they hold them accountable for achieving the objectives. And lastly, I think it's really important for a leader to walk the talk. You just can't talk about things. You actually have to go out and make them happen. So the example I used in the lecture this morning was about safety. If you have a business, a division, a facility that doesn't have a very good safety record, you can't just talk about it. You have to go out and make the changes necessary to achieve the right kind of safety performance. But it applies broadly. If you're underperforming in sales, you have to change the way you sell or change the people who are selling. If you don't like the financial performance, you have to change the strategy or the execution in order to accomplish your objectives. So the CEO has to definitely walk the talk.
Have there been certain leaders that have been instrumental in your life that have actually helped you just develop your own style of leadership?
Oh, absolutely. I've made it a practice to learn from every leader I've ever worked for or worked with. Most of the examples have been positive. Some we've had maybe examples of things not to do. But I've been extraordinarily fortunate in that I've had a number of supervisors and managers who have helped me grow and develop over the course of the year. I had the extreme pleasure and was very fortunate to work for Hal Sorgeni for a number of years directly, and Hal's been a real fixture in the chemical industry. And today I have a terrific set of partners at Apollo, where I'm an operating partner who have taught me a lot about buying and selling businesses and financial engineering, and have helped me grow as a well-rounded professional.
On that note, I would, love to thank you and congratulate you on this wonderful honor and award to recognize all that you have done in contributing to the chemical engineering profession as an industry leader. So congratulations, and thank you so much for participating in such a key role in AICHE's own leadership development, as well as reaching out to our large audience, to our membership. And so thank you very much.
Well, thank you. I want to thank the American Institute of Chemical Engineers for the award, and thank you for having me here this morning.
Thank you, Mort.